We're at the Kaizen Student Center for another edition of Student Stories, and I'm joined by Kianna Martinez. Hi, Kianna, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing really good.
It's good to meet you. I've actually seen you around campus a lot. You seem to be very involved. You do work on campus, correct?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So I work in the Office of Student Life, which is upstairs at the Kaizen Center. So it's student related. So we do work IDs, we work on your meal plan if you qualify. We also work on work study IDs, campus police IDs, also full-time and part-time employee IDs. We also do our postings for the flyers. So we're very busy.
I didn't realize y'all did so much. Goodness gracious.
Yes, we do a lot of things, and actually we have meetings every Friday. And also I work downstairs at the Palomino Pantry, and there is where we help our community members and students who are in need of groceries, or they just come by and stop for a snack.
Yeah, it's a really good deal, and it's not just for students, it's actually for anybody in the community who wants to come by. So you're very active, Kianna. How long have you been at Laredo College?
Well, I started in the month of August on 2024.
Okay, so you basically just started. This is your first year here at LC?
Yes, my second term.
Your second term. What's your experience been like?
Obviously, it's a lot of juggling, especially when you're a very social person. But the good thing about work study, it helps me keep balance of work and studying. I don't feel out of place of not falling behind with work. And also my studying, I feel like I make a decent amount of hours, but I also get a decent amount of work done at the same time. So it works for me as someone who's a multitasker.
So you find that work study helps you to manage your time a little better, maybe?
Yes, it helps me also motivate myself to keep going and doing my homework and not be ugh. Because it gives me a purpose, It's if I don't do my homework, if I don't pass, if I don't do my finals or my homework or anything, I don't continue. So that's kind of saying hey, it's a wake-up call. It's hey, as much as work is important, also school. So I recommend a work study.
Have you made a lot of friends through the Office of Student Life and what you do?
Yeah, it has helped me become more social. After high school, everyone has a different graduation situation. Some stay with their friends and go to college. I unfortunately didn't have that option as much. I had a couple of friends that stayed with me afterwards after I graduated from high school, so it wasn't too bad, but I still felt kind of off going to a new school where all these other people that went to these different schools went to, and I'm just I need to make friends, right?
Did it scare you? Did you think you were going to be by yourself?
A bit, yeah, because this is a part of life. Not everybody goes to college, but everyone has their own different way of life. So people just don't continue. Some people don't finish. Some people go to college and get a degree and become what they want to major in. And obviously I knew that after, way before, in middle school, I knew I wanted to go to college and get a degree, and that's what I'm working in.
Sure. Where did you go to school? Tell me.
Well, the whole history, or
no, let's go elementary, middle, high school.
All right. So my first school I ever went to was actually Harmony.
Okay.
It was actually different. We didn't have it the way it is now. It used to be the original Harmony, where it was combined of 3 schools. It was elementary, middle, and high school, and it was very crowded. They were barely establishing different teachers. They only had one particular group of teachers, and the memories were good and bad. I had good times in the class, socializing, doing art class, and maybe I didn't associate well with some people, that one kid that literally bit me on my shoulder, and oh my gosh.
Well, how old were you when that happened?
I was probably what? Maybe what age do kids usually start school? I don't remember. Maybe less than 5 or around 5-ish when that happened. Maybe. And after that incident, my parents just took me out.
Getting bit on the shoulder is not good.
No, and it left me a mark.
Okay, so where else did you go after that?
Well, since my mom was a teacher, well, is a teacher at, well, not Nixon High School, but at the time when I was growing up, she was a teacher at Heights Elementary, so that's the next school I went to. And it was very fun. I got to meet new people, get a different experience, you know, like socialize more. I was a very likable person in elementary. I didn't come out wrong to people. Like, they liked me. They found me as like one of their kind of people, like fun.
Took you in as one of their own. Huh?
Yes, and it was very nice. I just wish that I would have stayed a little bit longer because it was so much fun. I mean, staying in a school for 5 years, that's because, you know, first to fifth grade, it's like, it was a lot. I think I did a lot in elementary. I did music and I did like sports there. I never did cheer, but like I wasn't in the sports division either, but like I would do it like during PE and recess time, and it was fun. I was in the aftercare program with Miss Mendoza and Miss Vela and Miss Flores and Mr. Solis. Actually, I saw him the other day.
I
And
remember
at
all
CVS.
those names. That's great.
I know, it's just with memory, but
Yeah.
I grew up with those teachers for like what? Like Gussie, maybe 5 years or a year.
Where'd you go to middle school?
I went to Memorial Middle School.
Oh.
That's actually the school my mom also transferred to before I graduated from 5th grade. And yeah, middle school was kind of more bigger.
Yeah.
I didn't see most of the same people anymore from elementary. It was like starting fresh. And I was like,
And then
wow.
let me guess, you went to Nixon.
No, surprisingly, no. My family was expecting me to go to Nixon,
Yeah.
and no, unfortunately, when they found out during COVID, because when I went to high school, it was already COVID.
Ah.
Well, actually, no, it was 8th grade, and everyone said, "Hey, we're gonna come back in 2 weeks, go over your book," and then boop, online, COVID-19 spreading, and I'm a 2005 baby, so if you can relate, well, we all relate, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to 2005.
So you missed your freshman year in high school then?
Yes.
Wow. So you didn't actually go to physical high school until you were a sophomore, is that accurate?
Semi.
Semi.
Yeah.
So where did you land up going to high school?
Crazy enough, if I would have not moved houses by Old Mercy, I used to live in the back of Old Mercy. Well, the house doesn't exist anymore. They demolished it. They made it into a parking lot where the nuns are at. And I moved all the way to like where Elsie is at in the Fort McIntosh campus. So me tocó Martin, like Martin was near my area. And I was like,
That's
yeah.
good.
Well, yes, but everyone in my family went to Nixon.
Oh, so-
My mom went to Nixon. Her dad went to Nixon. My grandma, no, she went to Martin, so go Tigers.
So are you a proud Tiger now? Are you one of those once a Tiger, always a Tiger?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't all that bad.
No, but I wish I could have seen myself as a Nixon student, you know, like, and I was thinking about it, you know, I was thinking like maybe 2 years at Martin and then 2 years at Nixon, but I mean, I kept on trying to reapply, but I mean, it was really hard during COVID, you know, they were very strict about like,
Yeah.
if you didn't live in the area, you were just not gonna go, or if you didn't live with a family member that lived in the area, you were just not gonna go.
Long story short, you went through Martin, you graduated. When did you realize you wanted to go to college? You said you actually knew that for a while. Then.
Well, in middle school,
Yeah.
you know, when I was a little girl, I always wanted to do something in art, you know, watching the television and watching like cartoons and, you know, anime and like action movies and horror movies. I have a good tolerance for horror movies because
Yeah.
I started little. I mean, I was maybe like in elementary watching Walking Dead when it was barely starting, like
When it
season
was
1.
good, because I don't like Walking Dead anymore. You still watch it?
I haven't
Was it
really
the
kept
Walking
up
Dead
with it as
universe
much,
or-
but no, that I haven't really kept up much with. But I stopped at a certain season, and I'm not gonna spoil it. But if you know, you know. Once Negan came, it was over. I was like, no,
Was it when Glenn died, or
no.
is that too traumatic to talk
Yes,
about?
he's he was my favorite.
He's
I loved
everybody's
him.
favorite.
Him and Carl.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about Carl.
So, what do you want to do now that you're at LC? What are your plans? What are you studying?
Well, Fun fact, the school I went to for high school, I went to two schools in high school actually. So I went to Martin, and then I went to this magnet school called Vidal en Trevino, Communication and Fine Arts, where I was studying to get my medallion for, well, it's a certification too, to apply in my major, or have experience to say in my resume that I went to a school that taught this. And my major is theater arts, so I took obviously a theater class there at VMT.
Is that still something you want to do?
Of course. I want to try getting my PhD in it. Hopefully, like, I get to, throw myself into that community, get more used to it. I mean, I have 8 years in the industry, like working, doing mixture combination of like theater and then musical theater and also film acting. And
so do you want to be in front of the camera or behind the camera?
well, I've never found myself as someone that does like tech. I'm not really a tech person, and I know that might hurt some people in the theater industry. I just can't like it. Like, it's not my thing. But I do respect people who do it. I mean, I know it's not easy. I mean, I was a fairy godmother in theater in high school. I had to do their makeup. I had to do their stage makeup, like special effects.
So you
I had
didn't
to
like
do their
doing that?
costume. No, being a fairy godmother was really nice.
What's a fairy godmother?
We do their
That's
makeup.
what they call them in theater?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Well, in high school, that I was in the production called She Kills Monsters, and there was fairy godmothers that would help and do our makeup. And then one day I became a fairy godmother when one of them couldn't show up, and I was still in the production, like on stage, but like while everyone was getting ready, I was busy doing everyone else's makeup for mine and everything. And we would put them in costumes, get their props ready, basically kind of like stage manage,
Yeah.
like crew, whatever. But
So what plays, have you been in any plays recently or?
well, I have been coming out really recently with Laredo College.
Okay, good.
We did Write the Cyclone,
Yeah.
and we have also done Lucky Stiff.
So were you in both of those plays?
Yes.
Nice. How did that go? What was that experience like?
It's a lot. I mean, I was not expecting musical theater to be a big bundle, but comparing theater to musical theater, it's a broad spectrum, it's more stuff you can do,
Yeah.
I feel like theater, like sometimes it's just pure emotion. No, it could have music, it could have a little bit of singing, but like for it to really count as a musical, every scene needs to have music. Every scene needs to have a dance. That's how I kind of see musical theater, that there has to be a moment that happens to the character where it's like, now let me have a dramatic scene and sing all crazily. Like, I see, so.
And what's your preference? Musicals or regular theater?
That's hard.
You like them both?
I really like them both, but I noticed that more of my hot topic is what I call it, is more like my range of variety of where I can get selected more is in films than in stage plays and musicals. I know it's kind of strange, but I kind of like film acting, not more, but I just like the concept of like filming, and then you do your scene that you're told to do, and then everyone can watch it, like record it, and then like it'll be there forever. You know what I mean? Because I know in some productions and plays you're not allowed to record because of copyright, and so I know that for some people as actors it's really hard for them to build their portfolio when copyright issues, because you don't want to record something and then be like, you pay a fine. When in film you can always ask the producer afterwards, hey, can I have access to the film to put in my portfolio, or just watch the film.
So where do you plan to go after Laredo College?
I'm thinking of going to UT Austin because they have a good program called U Teach, and I want to go into the theater field and hopefully get my bachelor's. But if I can try getting higher than a bachelor's there, I think the highest is the bachelor's, for that program, then that would be fine, and then just transfer into wherever I can get my PhD.
Do you feel like Laredo College is preparing you for the next step?
Yes, because it's getting me used to college life. College life is kind of like so different from high school. I mean, it's not like you're in class and you do the homework and you also get a lesson. No, you just get a lecture and then you do your homework afterwards, you know. And the tutoring is so different. You get tutored and you would think like, oh, para agarrar tu mano y like do it for you.
Yeah.
No, they give you the feedback, they tell you what's wrong with your paper or whatever, and then hey, now you got to do it.
Yeah, you're on your own.
Yeah, like kind of like you're a
We'll
big
help
kid.
you, but you're a big kid. Well, you are a big kid. You're in college now.
Not only that, they don't do like the tutorials where they give you like the lunches,
Yeah, Super Saturdays.
Yeah, and that was so
That
much
doesn't
fun. I
exist.
used to always go in elementary.
But you seem to be taking advantage of everything here at Laredo College, Kianna.
Yes.
A lot of support services here at the college.
Oh yes, we actually have a service that I think could benefit a lot of students, which is our disabilities program here at LC with Miss, I believe it's Miss Craddock, right?
Miss Craddock, yeah.
Yes, she's really good with students who need help with like extra time or assistance, or like she helps you out like if you have like a disability. And it's a broad spectrum. It can be anything, but you just have to go there and tell them what your situation is and whether you do or qualify to get the service.
So, Kianna, you mentioned horror movies. Is that your favorite genre?
Oh my gosh, I would think that you would never ask, but yes, I love horror movies. Actually, I feel like I could excel in the acting industry with horror.
Yeah, that's
Like,
your niche.
Yes, I'm like, I hope when they have Scream, like the franchise, you know how they've been doing the newer ones, I want to come out in a film there. I don't care if it's a new spin-off or anything. I just want to be in a Scream production.
Is that your favorite horror flick, Scream?
Well, I also love Halloween. I love Halloween. But where it really like hits me, where like a lot of newer people have been coming out, like teens and like popular people, is like Scream.
So I'm gonna guess your favorite holiday is Halloween.
No.
No?
Not as much as I love my holiday, where it was the day I was born. Well,
That's
the
your
month I was
favorite
born.
holiday. You take advantage of the whole month.
Yeah,
It's your birthday month.
Yeah, double presents, and it doesn't take that long to get delivered.
I thought for sure you were into getting dressed for Halloween.
Oh no, I am. I love it, but I mean, when it comes to double presents, I'm sorry. I mean, December is the way to go with it.
Oh, that's why you get the double presents.
Yeah.
So, well, it could work against you. People might say, you know what, I'm not getting you 2 presents.
Well, it's okay.
Is that why
The
you
birthday money will
make
help
them
me.
sure it's like the whole month? You have favorite music?
Yes, I have a favorite music genre. I like a little bit of everything. I don't know who's calling me. Let me just turn off my phone.
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry. Like I said, I'm a very busy person,
Yeah, of
so this
course.
explains. So yeah, my favorite music genre, I like to listen to a little bit of everything, but mostly individual music, like under artists that are barely building up popularity. Like I know a couple of artists that are like going viral on TikTok, and I really appreciate like the efforts that they do. You know, like they're just trying to get recognized for their music, and so most of the people that do their music on TikTok are really good. I didn't even know there was these type of genre musics until like I literally got on TikTok. TikTok has really helped a lot.
So when you're not studying, when you're not watching horror movies, what else do you do?
Well, sometimes I like to apply for scholarships. I
Okay,
know I've
that's a
been
good
doing
thing,
that a
yeah.
lot. I know that if I want to be successful in school, I mean, I gotta apply for scholarships and grants, and you know, just be very good and studious. You know, get those A's and B's. My boss always tells me, Mr. Rivera and Ms. Mariana, they always tell me, C's get degrees, but why would you want to get a C? Come on.
All right, well, that's good advice, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't a very good student, but I still got a degree. So, all right. So, if you make it to Hollywood, you're gonna remember me, right? You won't forget.
Yes.
You're gonna forget all the little people.
I feel like people forget. Like people are like that they'll forget, but I'm not like every other person either. Like, I feel like I have a good memory. If I could literally remember my teachers from elementary.
Yeah, you just reeled off a whole bunch of names. I was pretty impressed.
I mean, I still remember the other ones from like before 5th grade, like Miss Calderon and Miss Tejerina. and Miss Martinez, and
Okay, I believe it. You'll
Yes,
remember me then.
yes.
All right. Well, Kianna, I hope to see you on the big screen one day. Good luck to you. Congratulations on all you've done so far, and I know you're going to go far. I'm going to see you on the movie screen.
you're gonna be like, hey, I did an interview on
Yeah,
her.
go back to YouTube. Check it out.
Come back to Laredo.
Yeah, sounds good.
Do a scholarship fund for emerging actors in
Hey,
Laredo.
Laredo needs to grow film-wise. There's a lot of.
I think
room for
Laredo needs to
expansion.
grow in general. You know, not I believe that there's opportunities for everybody. I mean, as somebody that comes from an open mind, you know, let's not recycle the same faces, you know, let's move it around. Let's bring in newer people, you know, they may not have experience, but let them
Okay.
learn, get them experience.
Well, then you're gonna have to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
for
just
sure.
committed yourself to coming back then when you succeed,
Hopefully.
Kianna.
Oh,
All
I really
right.
hope so.
Thanks for your time, Kianna. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
thank you.